Regarding Pizzagate and other forms of state abuse of individuals, I think it extends to calling people mental when they're not. It could extend to a lot of things, criminalizing people, so on and so forth. It's known that the state targets individuals, and part of this is now being recognized as including criminalizing people, which it's done to me. And I think probably calling people mental as well. It's a known fact that when you make people when you accuse people of being insane, then this alone can affect their sanity. And so I think a lot of people might actually believe there's something wrong with them when there isn't. I've been diagnosed with something or other. They don't make it really clear what they think it is. I think it was some sort of, what was it? God, I can't even remember now. Some sort of, was it? What did they say? Can't even remember. Anyway, something along the lines of paranoia. And I question that. I disbelieve it. And I think it is state harassment. Why? Probably really just because it's anyone who thinks for themselves, really. We know that the only people who get power now, we know now that the only people who get power are people who are within the system in some way. So anyone who has a mind of their own, who thinks for themselves, who questions anything, who has ideas about how things should be run other than the way they are run, is seen as a threat to the state. And you don't actually have to have done anything wrong at all. My criminal convictions are for things so paltry and pathetic, I actually wonder now whether they were set-ups by the state. Literally, they just amounted to people, so it's the most minor of pushes and shoves and that, and assault convictions followed. So they literally could have been so easily set up by the state. You know, it's just incredible. They just could have literally been really easily set up. And I think maybe they were. So I think the state may be affecting a lot of people, really. You might think it would need a vast network, but the state is a vast network. Look at some of these totalitarian places. The state is a huge infrastructure. And it could be more so in a capitalist society because they tend to centralize money at the top. So they would have all the money and resources to do this. So if totalitarian regimes in socialist countries that have less money can do these things, which they have gigantic infrastructure things like the Stasi and the KGB, then surely really capitalist countries could do them even more because they have the money. They have all the money at the top. They make more money and they centralize it at the top. And they tax it all off people. It's known now that taxation is a way of controlling people as well. Anytime people start getting more money than people want them to get, want them to have, they just invent some more taxes and take it off them. So, and the natural cycle of capitalism keeps people in control by busting now and again and dragging most people back down. So capitalism itself is a naturally controlling structure. System. So, yeah, I think lots of people in many ways are being controlled. And calling people mental is another way of controlling them, including in capitalist societies. They're not naturally innocent, you know. Some people say they work better than socialism, but they're not naturally innocent. There's nothing naturally innocent about capitalism. It actually works in favor of people who have more rather than less money. So, I mean, this is a known, obvious fact. So, yeah, there's no reason to think that there's anything naturally innocent about capitalist countries and how they would treat their people. They may well be treating people just as badly as any other form of society does. There's nothing naturally innocent about the people who run capitalist societies. They are all probably control freaks who want money and power. It's said that across the world, in every country, capitalist, socialist, or whatever, it's the same people who seek power. They're people who want power, people who will be compromised morally, people who only want money. So, yeah, it's the same people running things at all times. And if they victimize people in one way of governance, they will victimize people in another. So, yeah, I do think that, and this is a known fact anyway, people in Russia since the fall of the Soviet Union have said that the same people are still running things. So, if they are still running things, which they, those people over there say they are, then, it's the same type of people running every system, and presumably across the planet, because you're not going to be racist, are you? Hey, and say that any groups of people are different from any others. It's basically still going to be people who seek power and money, or who will be morally compromised and so on. So the only people who are actually honest are the poor, which would include me. So, and if you disagree with this, then yeah, you would be called paranoid, which is what they're calling me. And you can tell I'm not mad because I'm making sense, aren't I? I mean, use your own judgment. I don't need someone to tell me whether or not my mind works. I know I'm rational, because I am. And so, yeah, I think the state is harassing me for political reasons. Probably not just me, probably other people as well. So no, again, I'm not paranoid. I don't think it's just me. I do think the state controls its citizens and doesn't respect their efforts to stay free at all. And so I don't think I'm paranoid, and I do think the state harasses people, and I think this is part of how states behave and related to other forms of control of citizens who are actually seen as slaves and used as slaves and treated as slaves by various forms of exploitation, whether it's socialist or capitalist or whatever. And so yeah, I think that citizens generally are treated as slaves, including me. And now people are accepting more that states treat people like this. We should accept that we are being treated really as serfs, a bunch of serfs, and they lie about us as one way of controlling us. They use child abuse as another way of controlling people, either adults through blackmail or people through being conditioned by various forms of abuse into various mental states that they can abuse and exploit. And I think that this needs to be stopped, and that it covers a wider perspective even than child abuse as seen in Pizzagate, and that it covers including things like falsely accusing people of criminality, as is known with targeted individuals, and accusing people of being mentally ill, as is known with targeted individuals. And I think they're doing this to me by accusing me of being criminal and insane, or if not insane now, then insane at various times when it suits them, to try and keep me in a state of fear, so that I will just think what they want me to think, so I don't get a diagnosis of insanity. So I think that this has been done to a lot of people, and I'm one of them. And so we should keep the investigations broad, because they apply to all of society, which is being kept, has been kept. It's being manipulated to be kept, with the intention of it being kept in a manipulated, servile, controlled state. And they hope without it being aware of what's going on. But we are becoming more aware of it, and which is good. I just think it should include things, keep a broad perspective, and continue its investigations with this broad perspective. Thanks. Bye.